Hello guys, welcome to AI and Automation Express channel. This is a second video of UiPath Data Manager series. In this video, we will explain about how to create a variable, how to edit a variable, how to create variables in bulk, and how to create a global variables and perform different operations on the variable using UiPath Data Manager feature. So let's get started and first see how to create and edit variable and how to create them in bulk. So within Data Manager, we have three options to create any variable. First one is from this top menu, we have option called a variable. When we click on it, we can give a name of the variable, we can select a data type of the variable, we can select a scope of the variable, and if you want, you can give a default value, and when you hit OK, it will create a variable for you. The second option is in the variable node, you have option inline called a new variable, and when you click on that option, one new variable is created just below this and inline. Here you can rename your variable's name. For example, if I want to give where taste, then you can update variable name like this, and also from here only you can update data type, you can update scope, and you can give a default value if you want. That's the second way. And third way is in the variable node, there are three dots at the end. When you click on it, you have an option to create a new variable. And this pop-up is same as we created a variable from this top menu. So likewise, you can create variables in three different way here. Now, what if you have a very big workflow and you are using so many variables, and all those variables you want to create at one go? You don't want to do like going back again and clicking this button all the time, and one by one, you need to create. So if you want to do that in bulk, then there is an option in this three dot menu, which is called bulk create variables. Bulk create variable is nothing but like simple form where you have this button new. When you click on this new button, the new variable details you will see in a one another row. You can enter variable name, you can select its type, scope. If you want to give a default value, you can give it, and your variable is created. So likewise, whatever number of variables you want to create, you can create it. And when you close this form, all of those variables are created in data manager. So this is very good feature to increase your productivity when you have a big workflow and you want to increase your productivity by creating all of them at one go. So this is about how to create variable and how to create those variable in bulk. Now if you want to rename any variable, then you can just click on any of the variable and that variable name become editable, and you can use that option and you can update it its name. Likewise, you can select a different data type from here if you want to change that. If you want to change a scope, then you can select a scope from here. If you want to update default value, then default value also you can update from here. Another option is if you want to delete that variable, then you can right click on the variable name and you can use option called delete, and you can delete that particular variable. Also, just like here in variable panel, we have the option to convert any variable to argument as well. So when you right click on any variable name and click on this convert to argument option, that variable is converted to the argument. So, and the last option which is there with the variable is find its all reference. So if you want to see like what all places this variable is used within my automation, then you can right click on any variable name and you can go to this find references option at the last, and when you click on it, it will perform a search across all the workflows, and wherever that variable is used, it will list down all that sequences and activities where you used it. So here I didn't use this variable, so it is not showing me anything here. But if I, for example, use it like this, for example, in this sequence, assign and variable one and its value as taste value. Okay, and if I save this workflow and right click on it and use this find reference option, then you can see it is showing me like variable 1 is used at this place, main sequence, then sequence 2, and there is one assign activity where it is used, which is sequence 2 and this assign activity. So likewise, this is very useful when you have a big workflow and you want to find out like where your variable is used, then you can use this feature. So we covered these things, how to create edit variable, how to create a in bulk, how to add it, how to remove, how to convert variables to argument, and how to find all references. Now, there is one new very exciting feature given by UiPath in this latest version is create a global variable. Now, you can create a global variable like a .NET program inside UiPath also. Uh, when you create any variable as a global, then that variable is available across entire project. So what are characteristic of the global variable and what are the limitations? So let's go through them one by one. When you create any variable as a global, then that variable is available throughout entire project. You cannot use the global variable in the isolated workflow. So that is very self-explainable. When you use any workflow as isolated and invoke it, then that workflow is invoked in a separate flow or separate manner. So if it is separate from the main flow, then there is no use of global value in it. So you cannot use global variable within isolated workflow. Global variable is not supported in the library. So library also cannot use global variable. So that is also explanatory. Another thing is you cannot change name, data type, or scope for any of the global variable once you create it. So this is one of the interesting thing which we will show via demonstration. Another thing is default value of the global variable you can change anytime, but you can change it from the data manager and also using assign activity. And one very important feature of the global variable is you can create a local trigger based on global variables value. So this is very useful when you want to trigger some workflow or some activity or some action based on some global variable value is changed, and that global variable value is depend on another value or on a workflow, and that variable is changed, then this trigger will trigger and it will perform some of the actions. So in those type of scenario, it will give you a power to create a trigger and use that trigger. So let's see how all this is possible. So first of all, how to create a global variable. So when you create any new variable and give its data type and its sequence, so its scope. So while giving a scope, you have one more scope here, which is called a global. So this earth icon you can see. So along with another sequences or workflow available within your project, you can see there is one top root level option which is called global. So you need to select that global and that variable become global. So you can see here very little earth icon is also coming with this variable, and its scope is global, as you can see in tooltip. So once its scope is global, you cannot change its name, you cannot change its data type, you cannot change its scope. So all these three property you cannot modify. Only you can modify is uh, its default value. And also throughout your automation, you can assign any new value to that global variable. So let's see that this is variable 2, and if I want to change uh, the value of the global, then we can change like this, like global 2. I'm making it global 2. So you can see I didn't get any error. And if I want to show you, then let's run this. Yeah, so this statement is already executed, and let's check its value in a local tab. So you can see in local the variable global variable 2 value is taste global 2, which I assigned here. The original value was taste global, and new value is taste global 2. So it is verdict what is the verdict is, you can create a variable as a global and assign its default value, and throughout your automation you can change its value also. Okay, so this is very important topic. Like you can change its value throughout your automation flow also in case of global variable. And last point is you can create a local trigger. So how to create a local trigger? To create a local trigger, you need to right click on any global variable. You will not get this option when you click on any other variable. You can see like these are the normal variables, right? So when you right click on it, you will not see that option. But in case of global variable only, you have this option called a create trigger. And when you click on it, it will ask you to give a name of the trigger and location of the trigger workflow file. Not workflow file, but it's a sequence file. And here in the trigger, eh, your global variables value is given. So whenever value of this global variable is changed, it will trigger the subsequent activity. So this is very good, very interesting and very productive feature given by UiPath Studio in this latest version, which is a global variables you can create using Data Manager. Another thing is in normal conventional variable panel, you cannot see that option to change scope of any variable to global. So if you want to create any global variable, then you have to come to data manager. So this is one of the important difference between creating variable from the conventional variable panel and from the data manager panel. Hope you guys enjoy this video and you find this very helpful. Please go through all of my videos, do subscribe to my channel, and if you have any suggestion about any of the video or you want to learn any other topics, then just do comment and subscribe. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching.